Hello, believers, non believers, and everyone in between. You're listening to Stories with Sapphire. I am Sapphire Sandalo. Now get cozy and open your mind because it's story time. Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Stories with Sapphire Live. I am Sapphire Sandalo, and this is the live stream I do every Wednesday at 5:30 Pacific, where I read your emails and stories that may not be in the podcast or the web series on YouTube. Hello, Faith Miller, Angie Lazo, Miss Magical, Bro Want a Donut, Riley Slaya, Special Brown Dwarf, Sugar Cats, Mikey C. Welcome to the stream. So, if you're new here, welcome. I choose a couple emails to read aloud. If you want to send in an email, you can send it to, it's right here, storieswithsapphire@gmail.com. And at the end of the stream, we do a collective reading with one of my favorite decks. This is the Angels and Ancestors deck. It's always really cool when the cards sort of relate to the stories we've read. And the majority of the ones I've gathered for today all seem to have a theme of being watched, which is a cool feeling, which is a feeling I have all the time in my new house. I don't know if I have shared this story yet. Actually, you know what? I'm going to wait to share it until after the first story. Just been like the amount of weird dreams and experiences that I've had since we've moved has been pretty intense. Nothing bad. It's just like a definite increase. I had creepy feelings at our last place though, so I'm glad to be out of there. All right. So let's see here. What about? Ooh, here we go. A feeling in the corridor. Just a heads up, haven't read these through, so I might stumble, but, you know, we'll make it through. So this is called A Feeling in the Corridor, a true story submitted by Hubert. Hello, at the Sapphire. I have a small mental collection of light, true horror stories. I like to share these stories with you whenever I feel like it. Of course, I'll try to lengthen the narration since the stories aren't juicy and heavy, but I will be truthful, so don't worry. By the way, I'm also from the Philippines, but I am not Cebuano. I am Pangasinense. Pangasinense. Sorry, I hope I said that right. Here's a story from 2019, and I hope you enjoy. It seems like I'll be heading home late again. My fetcher always arrives late, so I spend most of my dismissal cleaning inside the classroom. Although the room was small, sorry, my bangs are bothering me. Although the room was small, there were still a lot to clean up, like the floor, the chalkboard, the erasers, and the clutter of baggage on the shelves. During these hours, the only lights turned on are the ones in the corridor. One side of the corridor is where the 4 classrooms and the laboratory are found, while one side are all windows. Another thing about the location is that my classroom is just beside the creepy science lab. Sorry, a burpee. And that my classroom is on the 3rd floor of the school. If you have not guessed yet, this school houses many ghosts. Students and teachers have seen the multiple ghosts in this former cemetery, but that's a story for some other time. Although there are many real ghost sightings in this school, I have not seen one despite me constantly staying late. Once I've done my chores, I hurriedly packed my things and left the room. I had the feeling that I needed to hurry. I didn't even stop to consider the other thoughts of needing to bring more with me. As soon as I stepped out of the classroom, I looked to my left where the clock hung above the library door. It was around 7 in the evening. Since the lights in the library were still lit, I thought to myself that the high school principal was still doing paperwork on his table. Of course, I didn't check to make sure because, as I said, I felt the need to hurry back home. I turned to my right towards the end of the hallway. Just as my back was against the library, which was closest to the science lab, a sudden chill went down from my nape down to my spine and scattered all throughout my body. It was the same feeling of suddenly having someone breathe down your neck. The exception to this similarity is that there was no one in the hallway and no wind. I collected myself and remembered that as long as you don't entertain the supernatural, they won't bother you. Sometimes. With that in mind, I gathered my courage and walked normally and slowly down the corridor. Just as I took 3 steps forward, all the doors on the entire floor shut with a loud unison bang. Screw it, I'm running. I run down the corridor while singing the Our Father. I kept my gaze in front while looking down to make sure I did not make more contact with whatever is making me leave. And just as I continued running past a corner and down the stairs, the chilly feeling suddenly vanished. A sudden calm feeling washed over me. I looked back up the stairs, but I couldn't see much since the corner I just passed was blocking the view of the corridor. At first, I thought of going back upstairs out of curiosity, but my reasoning persuaded me to continue running down the stairs while finishing the Our Father. I do not know what chased me, whether the ghost was the white lady, a group of children, a red-eyed being, or something else, but I'm sure that the entity was strong enough to manipulate multiple doors at once. I'm also sure that the entity doesn't want people on that floor at night. Perhaps, and I guess, that it was trying to keep people away from something more dangerous that comes out during the night. I have no proof for concluding this, but this is just based on a strong feeling. Oh no. Hubert, that's really creepy, but thank you for sharing. Also, what is it with schools that are formerly cemeteries in the Philippines? I feel like that's like I just shot an episode of Paranormal Caught on Camera where there was a video of like a haunting at a school that used to be a cemetery. And I'm like, why does this seem to be a common thing? Why is the Philippines keep using cemeteries for schools? Maybe don't. Adam Lombardo, thank you for the super chat. Hey Sapphire, is the Bloody Mary story you told a few years ago your own experience? Hope we're not fighting. Why are we fighting? Bloody Mary story. I'm not sure which one you're referring to. If it's the one that I told on Snarled, Something Scary, that is actually a story that my cousin Sora told me. I don't think that's the one you're referring to. So I'm not sure. Adam, if you could respond in the chat, I don't know which one you're referring to. I don't know which one you're referring to. Anyways, Ishan Chibber, I joined late, so is that official merchandise that Sapphire is wearing? Oh, this is just a Discord sweater. Yeah, today was a lazy day, so I just threw a hoodie on. Oh, Adam, yes. Yeah, so that story was actually something that my cousin told me. She told me it was true, so who knows? But I just remember it really freaked me the freak out. So it really stuck with me, whether it's true or not. But yeah, no, it happened to my cousin. All right, let's see here. In Elma, Washington, there's an elementary school straight across from a graveyard. Yeah, why do we keep doing that? Why do we keep doing that? Okay, so here's another watchy one. This one's called The Witch Who Watches Me. Say that 5 times fast. Okay. Hi, Sapphire. It's me, Zaya. I've sent a story before about how I was to come with who or what I'm going to talk about, but I will tell this story of just one of the experiences I've had with it. So it's been a couple months since I was to come in contact with what my family thinks is a witch or a demon. I decided to do something I probably shouldn't have done, which was name this thing. I have given her the name Obscura, which means dark in Spanish. So this day had started out normal. I had woken up to get ready for school and had gotten used to seeing her every now and then. I should mention that she takes two forms. One where she looks like my twin, but with black eyes instead of my gray colored eyes. The second form she takes is the form of my dog, except acts totally different. My dog loves cuddling with her, being a big dog, but when she takes this form, she will sit near me and just stare and watch me, which has made me become scared because my dog is a big black cane corso who is strong, so I get this intense feeling that she plans on attacking me. But back to the story. So I had begun getting ready for the day. I had gotten dressed, and as I was doing my hair, I could see her behind me in my mirror, but I did nothing. I just continued on. Soon leaving, as I had entered my school, I was hit with voices because I go to a big school, so I was used to hearing all the conversations in the morning. But today, I had felt that she had followed me. But again, I did nothing and continued. During my last class of the day, I had a test, but after I was done, I decided to put my head down and close my eyes. But as soon as I had closed them, I heard her voice say, "I promise you will soon be gone, and I will take." It says, "I will take my place." So I don't know if it means I will take your place or you will take my place. I had woken up to a bell, and I soon thought to myself, was that dream? Was that a dream, or was she haunting me? I had soon gotten home, where I was alone while my uncle was at work. My aunt was busy before picking up my little cousins and my older cousin at practice, and I was left with two dogs, my dog and the family dog. I had let the dogs out and began making myself a snack when she had walked in as the form of my dog. Knowing that my dog was outside, I knew it was her and ignored her. She didn't like that. I was cutting an apple when she growled, making me angry, and began looking at her and telling her to leave, as well as not noticing that I had cut my hand. I hurried and ran to wrap my hand when I had come back to clean the blood that had dripped on the floor, to find her licking it. At that moment, I decided I would leave the house and take the dogs and go to my friend's house that was nearby until my family had gotten home. About 3 hours later, I returned home where I had eaten dinner and done my night routine without seeing or hearing her. I had gone to bed early that night while my dog lay next to me, but to soon be awoken a couple hours later to my dog growling and her screaming in my ears, yelling at me and telling me to kill myself. About a minute later, she stopped and just began staring at me. Let's just say I didn't sleep well that night, knowing that she was just watching me. Whoa, what? Okay, there's a little, there's a, what do you call it? Not an epilogue, but there's an additional paragraph here. Thank you so much for reading my experience. I love you so much. But before I end this, I have a question that I was hoping you may be able to answer. As I said, she takes the form of a twin, me, just with different eyes. I found this weird because I am a twin, but I lost my twin sister Emily to breast cancer about 6 years ago. Soon after my sister had passed away, I had become sick out of nowhere and had a near-death experience where I'd stopped breathing, which led to my heart stopping. My question is, do you think she did that to us and failed with me and is coming back to kill me? Oh, wow. Whew, that's heavy. First of all, sorry for your loss. Second of all, I mean, it's impossible to say anything definitively. I can only speculate. I mean, that's a really creepy thought to think that this witch is coming back for you because she took your I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I don't have an answer for you. But everything you described sounds absolutely wild that you've seen all that. So I think you need to start implementing a lot of protection for you so that whatever this thing is doesn't keep coming and doesn't come closer. Do you know what I mean? because yeah, the more she's around, the more she can affect you, and I don't like it. All right, so let's do. Okay, this one's short and kind of fun. All right, this one's from Benjamin. Hi, Sapphire. My name is Benjamin, and I want to tell you about my uncle's paranormal experience. My uncle works as a food delivery person. He often delivers late at night, around 2 to 3 a.m. One night, my uncle had one last food delivery, so he went to pick up the food and head to the customer's place at a condominium. But to go to the customer's place faster, he has to pass by a park. As he was passing through the park, he saw a lady in white. He tried to get the attention of the lady because she was in the middle of the walkway. As he got closer to the woman, he realized that the woman had no legs. And then the woman started turning around, and turns out the woman had no face. It was like a hollow face. My uncle got scared and dropped his e-bike and ran in the opposite direction. My uncle was so afraid, but he was thinking to get the order delivered to the customer. So he went back, and the woman was gone. He got back on his e-bike, and he then continued to go to the customer's place. Once he arrived at his customer's condominium, he entered the lift and pressed the 6th floor. As he went up to every level, he saw the same girl he saw at the park appearing in front of the glass panel of the lift door, looking at him. As he reached level 6, he saw the white lady standing near the lift. Then he threw the food on the floor and quickly pressed the lift and went down. Then my uncle opened his delivery app to tell the customer that the food is near the lift, but then he saw the customer's note. It said, "Please pass the food to the white lady." After this incident, he decided to quit his job the next day. Oh, what? That gave me chills. That was kind of cool. So, like, this person ordered food for that ghost that the guy saw. Pretty tight. I like that. Do we have another short one before we go into the card readings? This is pretty short. All right. This one's called My Family Ghost Story. Hello, Ate. My name is JM, and I have a story that my mom told me when I was little that happened to her. At the time of this event, my mom was pregnant with me. She was staying at my grandparents' house because she had nowhere to live at the time. One night, my mom had to get up from her bed to go to the bathroom. It was pretty hard for her because she was nearing the end of her pregnancy. It was going to be due any day now. She tried to roll over to get up, but she was closer to the edge of the bed than she thought. This caused her to roll off the bed. She tried to grab the nightstand before she hit the ground, but it was no use, so she closed her eyes and waited for an impact. But she didn't fall onto the floor like she thought she would. She remembered feeling a rush of cold air around her. She felt hands pick her up in a bridal-style kind of way. Then she was safely placed down on her bed again, and the cold air went away from her. The next morning during breakfast, she told my grandparents, and they said that my grandpa's mother used to sleep in that room. She also died in the bed my mom was sleeping in. My mom was grateful, but also kind of weirded out that she got saved by this ghost. To this day, we still haven't figured out what saved her. Maybe it was the ghost of my grandfather's mother, but maybe it was another paranormal identity. I also wanted to say I love your channel. I've been watching you since you were on Snarled. Your storytelling skills are amazing. Thank you for sharing these spooky stories with everyone. They're my favorite things to listen to and watch on a daily basis. From your udding, JM. JM. Wow, that was a really cool one. I think it was like a guardian angel situation. There's so many stories of people of that happening. That's so cool though. And it also makes me wonder, it's just like, why do some people get saved and some people don't? You know what I mean? But it's still very cool. So thank you, JM. All right, here we go. All right, everyone, ready for your collective reading? So let's see. We're going to get like a card that has a bunch of eyes. I don't know. Okay, I know what number to pick. Here we go. Okay, so we got the Lord. Take charge with authority. So let's see what that says. Don't be afraid to take charge or use your voice. Be strong. The Lord is the consort of the lady, the emperor in the traditional tarot. He represents an authoritative male who isn't afraid to lay down the law. But this doesn't mean he's angry or chauvinistic. He is self-possessed, reliable, and ambitious, a man of honor who has earned his place in society. The Lord in this oracle holds a ram's staff and wears a crown of antlers, showing he keeps himself firmly rooted in the ground and is protective of his people. His regal air indicates he has a taste for the finer things in life, yet he is sensitive to those who are less fortunate than he is. Sometimes you have to take control in order to be honored. If you feel that your kindness or gifts are being taken for granted, it's time to change that. There is no excuse for bad behavior, and the ancestors are encouraging you to hold your ground and speak your mind in a fiercely loving way. You have the energy and might to overcome dramas or energies that aren't working for your growth, and it's time to take charge before you find yourself in a situation you don't want to be in. You are being encouraged to be the boss instead of being bossed. This card also brings the energy of ambition and can show you have the potential to move upwards on a professional level, but only if you act with authority and show who you really are. Whoa. Okay, I can't go too much into detail, but that resonates with me hard. Especially today. Especially today. That's crazy. Man, thank you, cards. That like crazy resonates with me. Yes, spent too much of my life being bossed, and now I'm leveling up. And I just have to keep reminding myself that. So, anyways, that was our stream today. Just a reminder, if you want to submit a story, it's right here, storieswithsapphire@gmail.com. I'm here every Wednesday, 5:30 Pacific. And I also have a new live stream that I do every Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific, where I read stories from one of the books that I got. Right now, we're making our way through this Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark series. And then I'm always I'm always taking suggestions of other books that I can read. And that one's just like super chill, chill vibes. If you like, want to hang out while you're like studying or something. I don't know. All right. Bye. Narwhal Bean Does Stuff, Cringe Edits, Robert Jimenez, Mubina, Micah, Riley Slaya, Ebony Burgess, Queen Sundere, Ishank Chibber, Special Brown Dwarf, Stola, Scary Hansen, Boone, Ben, Altheiser, Hauser. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your names wrong. Holo Inni, BTS Megan Thee Stallion Houston fan. That's a name. Michael Rings, Lena, Eden Brathwaite, Francis Rivera, Rat of Stupidity. Insert username here. Thank you so much for joining me. And I hope to see you tomorrow. And if not tomorrow, then next week. Oh, and don't forget, there's a new episode of my podcast that just came out. It is a fictional story that I wrote for a live event that was meant to be told around a campfire by the beach. But I love the story that I wrote so much that I recorded it as a podcast episode. So if you listen to it, just pretend that you're watching someone tell you these stories at a campfire at the beach. If you listen to it, let me know. And you can listen to that podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts. So Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You can literally just Google Stories with Sapphire and it'll show up. All right, everyone. Have a great Wednesday.